What is up, everybody? Raz here with another episode of the Doods Foods. Today we're going to be making some oven roasted tomato soup with a gnarly grilled cheese sandwich to go along with it. We're going to go over a couple different cheeses, play around with a couple different breads, and just have fun making sandwiches and some tomato soup today. So thanks everyone for joining who's here, and let's get started. I have my recipes posted on our Facebook page, and I have some posted here as soon as I switch the screens. But for starters, on the recipe I have 16 tomatoes. I got about 20 of them. It's about 6 pounds of tomatoes I'm going to start with here. We got a good local place for really cheap tomatoes for Roma's, so nice and fresh. Because there's so many, I took the liberty to chop a few of them early, so we're not here all day just chopping tomatoes. But I do have a couple of tomatoes left over to chop just to go over some knife skills like we like to do here in the beginning. So let's see if we can switch this here. Alright, so I built a little contraption so the cutting board is underneath here, so the camera's not right above my head, as you can see the board here for it. So for these tomatoes here, we're just going to start off by chopping off the tips here, throw them in our compost bag. I'm going to move these carrots out of our way. Alright, so then with the tops off, you can stand them all up. And because we're going to be oven roasting these, we don't really need to do any sort of fancy cutting on them. So we're just going to do a couple of basic slices. Usually about 4 will do it, about 2 across, right? Sometimes 3 slices, but usually 3 slices across, 2 that way. 1, 2, 3, and 2 that way. Hey, we got a follower. Why you? What's going on, man? Yeah, so I've been playing around with some of the Twitch alerts and some of the other programs and messing around and trying to set some of that up. So I think a couple of these new buttons should be working tonight. Oh, why you is hosting me? Right on, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, so we got our tomatoes chopped up. And we're just going to throw these right into our cookie sheet here. So what I do here is I got 2 different pans, well 2 separate pans, neither one seasoned. This is just what I chopped up earlier. This is what we just chopped up here now. Might add a couple more. You kind of want to keep them even so they'll cook evenly together. Yay, carrots! Yeah, we got carrots today. And don't worry, Lyric Jones, we got a little bit of salt too. I know that's your favorite. So we got those all out. Got some paper towel here. Wipe off my hands. Alright. Hey, Lyric Jones, following right on. Yeah, we switched the page over. We were on that Razzlebatch channel, so we just switched over to get our own real channel set up, so a little easier to find us and whatnot. So thanks for hitting that follow button. Helps us out a lot. So we got a couple of seasonings here. Got some black pepper. We got some crushed red pepper. Got some garlic powder. I don't think we need too much garlic powder. I also have some minced garlic here. Help us out. So for starters, we're gonna put the minced garlic on. Got like fine mince too. I guess there's different. Yeah. So sprinkle a little of that over top of our tomatoes here. You can never have too much garlic. It's the best in the world. And we'll save some garlic for later too. We're going to need some for our grilled cheeses as well. I'll show you what that's all about. We're going to put it into the toasting of it. So we'll just set our garlic off to the side here. Where's my towel at? So, got a little bit of garlic. And so now we got to take some black pepper. Again, for measurements, like the easiest way to do this, instead of like just trying to measure stuff, when you're doing pans like this and you just have it all laid out, just scatter it the length of the pan. So if we take the black pepper here, I'm just going to shake it kind of across, and just shake it kind of across. Maybe a little extra. I like black pepper, so I throw a little extra in. You know, that's also the other thing, is there's not really an exact for some of this, you know, because it's just kind of whatever your favorite is. If it has no salt, don't want it. So is the stream actually on here? It's supposed to, yeah, I can't see it on my thing here. Oh, I gotta set this, I'm sorry. 1 second here, I guess we're still playing around with our channel. There we are. Oops. Air updating broadcast. Okay, that's cool. Wonder why. Indian takeaway for your dinner. Heck yeah, sounds delicious. The video on. There we go. Oh, I just had to refresh the page, I think. Sorry about that. Technical difficulty, still working on all of this. How's that? There we go. Alright. Now we can rename the title here. So, tomato soup. Alright. Sure likes to take its time playing around here. And update. Oh well, if you guys can see it, that'll work. It's having a problem there in the update for some reason. I don't know why. But we'll get right back to cooking here. Sorry guys. It's kind of hard to set all this up at the same time because you can't really know until it's all live and working. Or in this case, not working. Alright, so. Cool. So, we have the pepper. Let's get back to what we're doing here. Got the salt. I like to put it in my hand, just kind of sprinkle it across again. A little bit in the hand, kind of sprinkle it across there. A little extra. One other thing, I did not get ready, but I do believe I have right here on hand somewhere. I just pulled it out to, sugar. When dealing with raw and fresh tomatoes, sugar is very key. The tomatoes have an acidity to them, and when you add a little bit of the sugar, it helps kind of numb out that acidity so it doesn't have so much of a bite. So sprinkle a little sugar over top here, a little sugar over top there. You don't want to put too much to make it sweet. If you do it just right, you shouldn't really taste the sugar. It shouldn't really be sweet at all, just enough to take that like initial sharp bite out of it. Alright, so salt, pepper, sugar, garlic, olive oil. Get some olive oil here, extra virgin, just a little bit of drizzle. You don't need a whole lot. You're not like roasting it, but I mean, not like boiling in it, frying them. So just a little olive oil over top. I have my oven over there preheated to 450. So we're already ready to go, so we don't have to wait for that thing to heat up. So let's switch over to our cam there. Alright. So, bring these over. Just kind of set them on the racks there. And those will get toasted. Let's get a time check. So, 7:08. We're going to take about 45 minutes, give or take. And once that's done, that'll be good. So during that 45 minutes, we got plenty of other things to do here. For instance, chopping up all these vegetables here. Let me switch our cam back over. I just got 2 cameras set up now and still working on getting these switched over now, getting the button click, find where we're at. Alright, so in the recipe I have 2 carrots. As you see, I got 4 here because they're really tiny. I tried to do the whole shop local thing, and so they only had like these tiny organic style carrots. Relatively cheap though. You get a whole big bag for like $1.99, but they're really tiny. So if you have big carrots, you probably only need like 2 of them. If you have little carrots, 4. So we'll just peel these real quick. These tiny ones are a little trickier to peel. Alright. And last one. So I just peel it all into the cutting board. It makes a little bit of an easier mess to clean up. And so now that they're just all right there on the cutting board, just scrape them all up and throw them into our compost bag. What did you have last night for dinner? I had takeaway pizza. It was barbecue base meat feast. Barbecue base meat for pizza. Heck yeah. I love a barbecue pizza. What did we have last night? I really don't remember. Oh, it was football. That's right. We had roasted a bunch of chicken wings and a couple of appetizers and chowed down and watched some great games. So our onion here, we're going to get these onions cut up here first. I meant to do that before the carrots, which is why I just set them to the side. The reason I want to get these onions done up is we're going to caramelize some of them for our sandwiches, so they take a little bit longer to cook. So we're going to get some of them into a pan right now. That way you can have everything kind of going all at the same time. So you have your tomatoes roasting in the oven, then we'll get our onions in the pan and caramelizing, and then while those are all working their magic, we'll work on getting the rest of the vegetables ready for the soup. We'll get the bacon chopped up for our sandwiches, all that fun stuff. So I just do like a coarse medium chop because I like onions and I really don't mind. If some people in your household don't like onions, or if you have little kids, sometimes chopping them up a little finer helps that out. Alright. So we're going to use some of these for the soup and some of them for our dealer. So when we get our pan going hot here. Yeah, I do a wing sauce, Jones. The wing sauce I make is really fantastic. Basically, anybody can make it. It's not like a particular one. I just take every form of hot sauce and pepper in the entire house and just dump it in different rations in a pan and let it reduce most of the time while the wings are cooking, and it comes out amazing. Just super, super hot. I like really, really hot wings. Alright, so let's see. Let's switch this. There we go. So, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in. Just kind of drizzle over top. We'll throw a little bit of garlic in with this while they're caramelizing. Nothing wrong with that. Not a whole lot, just like a little pinch in there, You get too much in there, you can't get it burning with it. You don't really want that. The other key thing with these, you want a little bit of salt to help pull some of that out. And you say football, not soccer. Now, when I say football, I wasn't talking about soccer. We actually have American football, as I'm sure you probably know. A little bit more salt. Get some pepper, and where'd those crushed red pepper flakes? Alright. Black pepper, a little bit of red pepper flake. Got our temp on. Cool. So, back over to here. What up, bud? Get back here and come and make me some grub in Beaver County. Like when my mom cooks and she don't have the right ingredients. Yeah, Jerv. Yeah, Beaver County's. One of these days I'll make it back to the Pittsburgh area. Who knows? But yeah. And Jones, yeah, that's a way a lot of things work in kitchens. You just kind of take all the leftovers and throw it in a big old pot and see what all you got. So we're gonna put all our vegetables inside our stock pot here. We're gonna get them ready. So we got part of those onions. I'm gonna grab one more onion here. I got a few with us. Jerem, thanks for joining us, man. It's good to see you. How you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Good times from out east. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, for those who don't know, and I've lived out here in Montana for the better part of about 10 years now, and it's just fantastic out here in Montana. So we're going to cut up one more onion for this because, like I said, I really like onions. Alright. Ooh, and so something to mention with these onions, I use sweet onions. My eyes are super sensitive to onions, and I will get the waterworks going and tear up like none other. So sweet onions do help with some of that, and cutting them and getting them into your pot quick and fast helps too. The longer you're dealing with your onions, the more they'll start to get into the burn. Alright. We got those chopped up. Carrots into there. Got half a stalk of celery. Now remember, when I do the celery, those big outside branches with those big gnarly fan leaves, you want to take off. But when you have the little leaves inside, you really don't need to worry about cutting those out. You can just chop those up inside them. The leaves are nice and sweet and tasty, and there's really no reason to try and like waste celery and try and waste time chopping all that out. I just chop it all up inside of itself. It's just amazing. Alright, so we got our stock pot. We're going to get that in here too. Got our onions. I can smell and hear those. I'm sure you can probably hear them sizzling. Check this out. It's been a long time. Onions are great. Onions are fantastic. I love onions, but when they burn your face off or melt your eyeballs. Alright, so got the right can. So we got our onions going. So when we're caramelizing, you don't really want it high heat and frying. I just turn it up high to get it hot. So now that it's sizzling and warm, I'm going to turn the heat down on those. What you want when you caramelize them is a low, slow heat, and you want to draw all that sugar outside of them. Another reason why sweet onions are good as well, they have a little more sugar content. To draw that sugar out and just caramelize it like candy, you know, so you can actually really taste that sweetness in with your onions. Woo, it's getting burny. Eyes are warm. So we got our vegetables in the stock pot here. I'm going to turn this one up. These ones we will cook on high. So what we'll actually do, we're going to switch these, put that on the big one, put this on the low one, set that to low, crank that to higher, a little bit of olive oil, got my big wooden spoon, a little bit of black pepper, sprinkle across. What else do we have here? Whoa. Yeah, my eyes are definitely on fire. And some salt. A little bit of salt. Sprinkle that over top. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. Just a little bit. A little bit of red pepper flake. I like red pepper flake. You don't have to put it in there. Just a personal thing. Alright. So we're going to let our vegetables saute in this stock here. We got our onions caramelizing. Getting ready to caramel over here. And back to the cutting board. So, next thing we're going to want to do is get some bacon chopped up for our sandwiches. Part of a grilled cheese sandwich is I like to use bacon. When you use bacon on a sandwich, whether it's a BLT, whether it's a grilled cheese sandwich, I always recommend chopping up your bacon and dicing it up. The reason why is when you bite into your sandwich, you don't have to drag the whole sheet of bacon off. Excuse me here. Oh. If you put a spoon in your mouth when chopping onions, it stops you from crying. Yeah, I've heard just about everyone in the book, man. I don't know which all ones actually work and don't work. I don't think any of them really do when you're cutting a lot of them. There was a time I was cutting like a case of onions every couple of days, and man, that was there was really nothing that could stop that. Alright, wash my hands here. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. My onions are really getting to. Alright. So, back to our bacon chopping. Why with the saltiteers? With the salt shakers? Yes, salt. Lots of salt. Salt everywhere. Alright. So when we go to the bacon, because this nice cutting board here, we've been doing all of our vegetables on and stuff. We want to save it for our vegetables, and we don't want to spend a lot of time scrubbing this thing right now. We're just going to slide this off to our side here, and I got this nice other cutting board here that we can do our bacon on. So put that out of there. Take my cutting board here, get off our knife. You hear that stuff sizzling back there? It's smelling so good, making the whole kitchen here just smell amazing. I'm going to give them all the sauce real quick. Oh yeah. Turn it down so it don't get too hot. So, back to the bacon. The best type of bacon, I don't know, there's all kind. I don't want to say the best. I use dailies a lot. This here is farmland. It's peppered. The best kind of bacon is the bacon that's on sale. Whatever bacon you find that's on sale or the cheapest is the best one to go with. One of the ones, they have like a big buy one or something. Try to find one that's not just like straight fat though. I mean, sometimes you can just get like, some people like it. I'm not the biggest fan of straight fat ones. So, grab a couple strips out here. I got the peppered bacon. Like I said, I really like pepper. See, you got those salt shakers. Do you got pepper shakers? Probably not. Maybe one day when I get a subscribe button, we can make some super sweet salt and pepper shakers or something. Alright, so we're just going to kind of pull them apart a little bit. And we're going to get them cut up. How's it get? Alright. There we go. Salt equal good equal Illuminati. Something like that. Although salt at one point was an actual currency back in the day. For many different things. And yeah, if you had a lot of salt, you would technically be considered some form of rich, right? Alright, nice sliced up bacon. This way when it all fries up in the pan with the onions, and you put it on your sandwich and you bite into your sandwich, you can get all the bacon and onion and cheese and just get all the good flavors together without like biting into it and then pulling a strip of bacon off, which pulls like half the cheese off and all the hot melty cheese just dumps all over your chin and burns the hell out of your chin. And oh yeah, that's always fun, you know. Mexican bacon is terrible. I don't even know what Mexican bacon is. Walco11, what's up, man? Smoothie Sundays. What's Smoothie Sundays? I could go for a Smoothie Sunday. That sounds good. English bacon is good. I don't know what English bacon is either. Man, I gotta really learn some new stuff, don't I, guys? Alright, I'm gonna rinse some of this bacon off. I'm gonna have to stir this pot here. We start burning our vegetables on the bottom. Let me just switch that over here. Taco Tuesdays, Wookiee Wednesdays. Heck yeah. I have a lot of Muffin Mondays, Taco Tuesdays, Wookiee Wednesdays. You know, you can make all kind of a... Why, you would be a great promoter of restaurants, sir. Alright, the veggies are just cooking nice. Got our onions here, just looking so good. So, got this other pan here. Take that out. That's the lid. Alright. Once our veggies are just about ready, we're going to add our burgundy. When I make tomato soup, I really enjoy adding burgundy. Why do you have that thing at the start of your name? Why do you have that thing at the start of your name? At the start of what name? Oh, on YU's TV thing? He has that thing. You're a Turbo subscriber, I believe. Right, Y? You could probably explain that better. But it means he's also got a Twitch page. He plays some video games. You should check him out as well. When you're not watching me, of course. Love you, Y. Alright. So move our bacon over here and set a pan on the back. I know the camera doesn't really have the back very well, but what I can do is, we're just going to get that warm for a moment. Alright. Vegetables cooking good. I'm going to cut some more bacon up. So I'll put this bacon here into a bowl for the time being. As you can still see, I'm still not 100% organized on what I'm doing here. That's why it's a live fun show. We'll learn and play together. You're the new Jamie Oliver. Jamie Oliver. Alright. Slice that. Oh. Yeah, you get better at switching cameras. There we are. I'm just slicing this bacon up real quick, the last of that pack. Tip of the knife down, forward sliding motions. Always keep the blade down when you bring the blade off the table. You never know what can happen. After I slice them all that way, I kind of turn it and do a couple of long way slices just to get that little extra bit of dice. Alright. So if you guys are watching the stream and you haven't hit that follow button yet, I'd greatly appreciate follow if you want to check out next time we're going live as well. Really helps us out. Alright, wash my hands out there. Cool. Vegetables are going. Now, the next thing we're going to add to these vegetables, let me swing this camera back over for you guys. Unfortunately, nothing you're doing applies to what I'm making. What are you making there, Walco? Twitch Turbo is like a premium sub for the entire site of Twitch TV. I'm getting any ads for the casters that do run ads and collect money. So get their cut. Yeah. And English bacon is like a different texture and like less fat, and it's so crispy. Nice. I want the Fire Fridays where you cook with open flames. Fire Fridays with open flames. Actually, yeah. I have. So because my stove here is electric, I do have a 2-burner real stovetop that you hook the propane for outside. So when the weather gets nicer, I am really excited about doing some outside dishes on it, making things like a Jack Daniel's cream sauce for chicken and lighting the Jack Daniel's on fire and all that fun stuff. So what I have here is I don't have to deal with a bottle opener this time because that was a disaster last time, is some burgundy. Cheap bottle, you get a nice big bottle of this hooch. Works great. Pumpkin lasagna rolls. Yeah, that sounds good. No, I'd imagine none of this really helps with that, but man, send me some. So when I add the burgundy, usually just add about enough to fill about halfway up your vegetables. You know, wherever your vegetables take up in the pan, just fill about half that, maybe even 3/4 of that. You want a nice amount in there, and then you're just going to let it sit in there and reduce. When you have moisture present, any form of water or liquids, the burning and browning of your vegetables won't happen. So if you're like, oh man, it's getting too hot and all my vegetables are starting to stick to the bottom, they're going to brown or burn, how do I stop that? Just like pour some water in there if you really have to, like a good splash. And And if you can't get to the water, if you have something else instead of water, like I just did there, burgundy, it's freaking fantastic. These onions are smelling really good, guys. Got those simmering. Alright, got our pan back there going hot, so I'm going to throw my bacon back there. I'm using my same spoon because I'm cooking through with everything, and then I'll probably wash this towards the end. And I'm not making this for a vegetarian for myself, so I don't mind if there's some bacon grease in it. Some of you might be making a vegetarian style or a vegan style. That's absolutely great. Just leave the meat out. If you're going vegan style, you can replace heavy cream with coconut milks or other things of that nature. Lasagna. In England, we don't really use pumpkins to cook. Wonder why? You guys just use them for Halloween then? You don't roast the seeds and eat pumpkin seeds and make pumpkin pie, and or in Walco's case there, pumpkin lasagna rolls. Sounds delicious. Alright, we got these going. Got our onions caramelizing. Turn that up a little bit more. Starting to get a nice translucent color to them. And how you know when you're ready for the vegetables is basically all the burgundy you poured in there will absorb itself up and it'll become a goo at the bottom of your pan. You won't have much liquid, and then you know your burgundy's about ready. You're not missing anything. Pumpkin flavor is overrated. Thomas, yeah. Pumpkin pie is delicious, but you need like half a container of whipped cream on top of it. That's why. We only use them for Halloween in England, huh? That's crazy. We use them for Halloween here too, and I don't know how they do it in England, but here in America, it's kind of tradition for kids to also just like go around and smash other people's crap too. Pumpkins are used for smashing. Alright, get our bacon a little bit there. So, I clean up our raw bacon spot here so we can get ready for our next set of stuff. Grab my knife, get that nice and cleaned off. So one thing with a grilled cheese sandwich is, obviously in a grilled cheese, the number one ingredient must always be cheese. You can add other stuff such as the caramelized onions and the bacon and things of that nature, but you can't outdo the cheese. So the more meats and the more vegetables you stuff inside your grilled cheese, just remember the more cheese you're required. So when you're like, man, that's probably too much cheese, it's definitely not too much cheese. No, we don't eat them ever. We only shape them into look scary. You mix it with ricotta so it's not straight nasty. Works in dishes other than lasagna. Heck yeah. Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about there, Walker. That sounds really good. I'm not a fan of pumpkin spice, but pumpkin flavor like that'd be interesting to try something like that. So, our vegetables are pretty much ready here. We're going to get ready to spin those. So I'm going to pull those back. I'm going to pour our bacon up here. You can see that getting fried real nice. We'll get some heat on that. Wonder how much grease we're going to get on our camera lens, huh? That's right, I got a towel to keep that clean. Guys, if you can just smell that peppered bacon and smell these vegetables, oh my god, it's amazing. Do you have an alcohol recommendation for a banana foster? What's a banana foster? If you're talking about a drink, I don't know drink mixes very well. I'm very bad at mixing drinks. Banana foster. I don't know. I'll have to look that up, but if anybody else knows what a banana foster is and can help our friend Joe's life out here, I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate it. So we're going to put this into our RoboCoupe here. If you don't have a RoboCoupe food processor like I do here, and a substitution could be a blender. One thing to remember though, if you're going to use a blender, these vegetables are hot. If you put them inside your blender and you put the lid on tight and you hit the button, it's going to blow the top off with the steam pressure, and it's going to blow hot lava food all over your face and all over you, and you're going to burn, scream, and it's not good at all. I've done this on occasion. Sometimes you walk in to a kitchen on a Monday morning hungover and you don't think about it, and next thing you know, you have hot lava in your face. Just giving our bacon and onions a little stir. You always got to keep making sure you're moving them around. Don't let them sit to the pan too long, get stuck and burned. It's never fun. Alright, so we got these here, and we're going to put them into our food processor. And let's not forget the blade. It's a dessert of bananas vanilla ice cream. Oh, so then in that case, like maybe an alcohol recommendation. Couldn't you put like 99 bananas on that or something? Usually you use rum in the sauce that you spread on the ice cream bananas. Yeah, so like a Malibu rum, or you could put 99 bananas would probably be fantastic. If you actually took like bananas and a little bit of brown sugar and some 99 bananas and maybe even a splash of Malibu rum and cook that in a pan and let that reduce and turn into a sugary glaze and then pour that over top, I bet that'd be bomb. I'm just making that up here on the top of my head. I don't really know, but I bet that would probably taste really fantastic. I used to drink back in the day. I'm not a big drinker anymore. Don't mix drinks very well. I let bartenders do that, so I'm not a alcohol mixer. But I know 99 bananas, and I've used 99 bananas and strawberry schnapps, different things like that, for reductions in sauces and glazes before, because it has a great flavor. So I don't have a rubber spatula to get everything out of the pot. That's okay. A couple of chunks in my smoothie or tomato soup is fine. Alright. Looking good over here on our cooking station. So, we got those into there. Alright, what do you guys got? Usually use rum in the sauce as for the ice cream. Feels Google, man. It's pretty much what it is. Yeah, that sounds really good. I might have to do like a dessert thing on Wednesday. I've been trying to debate on how I want to do this Wednesday stream, and seeing how as Mondays we're doing like big long cookings on Monday, like 2 hours, we might even go longer sometimes. So I was trying to figure out what to do for like a short stream on Wednesday. So maybe we'll do different desserts and different things of that nature. And we'll look that up and make something like that. Alright, so we got a good blend going here. It's getting pretty thick. To loosen it up, you can put a splash of water in there or another little splash of burgundy. I like burgundy. So I'll hit that on for just a little bit longer. Get a good spin in there. Wow, that's spinning. I'm going to check on the bacon. Ooh, getting hot on the bacon side. Looking good. I'd say that's about done. So depending on what type of blenders you have or food processors you have is basically how smooth your soup is going to be. If you want a super smooth soup, get yourself a better blender. Me personally, I don't mind whether it's super silky smooth or whether it's a little bit chunkier or a little bit more textured. It does not matter to me. It tastes great in the end. Fits on a spoon. Grandpa can still eat it, so, you know. It's fine. I'm just going to scrape some of the bottom of that pan out of there. Realized I just did that off the camera. Awesome. So looks like baby food at the bottom of the pan now, nice and spun up. Pull this out of the way. Bacon's looking good. Onions are looking good. Give it a little toss. how long is left on stream? Because my iPad battery is about to rip. No. Probably an hour and a half. Better get that charger. No. It's downstairs. 4%. No. Lyric Jones. Yeah. Better run downstairs and get the charger, man. Because there's definitely more than 4% iPad battery left to stream to go. That's for sure. We got tomatoes roasting in the oven. We got bacon cooking. We got onions caramelizing. You might want to grab that charger there, bud. All right. So let's switch back over to our other cam here. The countdown begins. Alright, look at that bacon. That onion. Does life get better than bacon and onions? Not really. Get that moved around. It's starting to crisp real nice. Just smelling so heavenly. Fuck, I love the smell of bacon. Trying to do better with my language. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you know. Alright, so nice flipping that onion. Those are caramelizing real nice. See that nice brown it's getting? Can you see that good on the camera? Let's see if we can move that up for you. Nice and brown. Need that to stay on the hot side. We got the oil going. So I'm going to set our soup in the back on super, super low. I'm going to check our tomatoes. Ooh, they are looking freaking amazing in there. They are just about done. So what do we got left to do here? Oh, something I kind of wanted to play with while we're waiting for our food to cook. I was just finding the lid for our wine. Is making a basil line. Oh, speaking of basil, I just forgot. We're putting basil in our tomato soup, are we not? What kind of show is this? Gosh. I know it would be if I wake up my mom dead. Act like you're sleepwalking. I'll switch the laptop. Alright, 1 minute. Right on, man. You gotta tiptoe real silently. I remember there were some nights back in the day I'd come home so late. We lived on this hillside, so like it was like a downhill to our house, and I can remember coming home at like 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes like shut my car off, turn my headlights off. It was a stick shift. Put the thing in neutral and just coast it down the hill. Creep on in. Good times. That was a fun little car too. Alright, so we got some basil. Picked up the thing. The way I like to use the basil here, an easy way to chop it up, take your biggest leaf and just kind of stack all the leaves on top of each other inside of it, right? And then once it's all there, you can roll it like a burrito. And then you can do your downward slide motion with it and just get beautiful cuts and cut the whole thing real nice and smooth. Throw that into our pot. Oh, I just realized that camera wasn't on. Sorry about that. I gotta get better at that camera switch. We'll get better. Sorry, guys. Ooh, bacon's getting good on the bottom now. One thing you want to do is sometimes dump out your bacon grease. I don't recommend dumping it down the drain. So find yourself a container to pour it in. Dumping it down the drain is not so much for eco-friendly too, as well as pour too much grease down your drain. You're just gonna clog up your drain, you know. And you gotta pay somebody to fix it and spend a bunch of money. That's never good. Alright, get some of that bacon, grease out of there. Mix that basil in there on the bottom. It's looking pretty good. Ah, can't see it. Yeah, I know. Change the camera. Sorry. Okay, so I'll cut up some more bacon because I totally ruined the camera, and there's a really bad delay on there. So I'll switch the camera back over because we still got some basil here. I'm really sorry about that. Bacon grease cam. Alright, so ooh. I'm gonna turn this bacon down now. That was just some good pepper in the throat. I'm gonna set our bacon to the side. It's pretty much about ready. Any extra cook we can do. Our onions over here. Alright, so let me show you how we did that basil, because I ruined that for all you. Makes the tomato soup, basil soup, forgets the basil. Yeah. Alright, so pull all the leaves off the stem. Good thing we got a bunch of basil here so I can show you this. I am really sorry about that. Alright, so as you heard me say, but didn't see me do, I like to start with the biggest leaf and then take everything from the biggest leaf and pack all your other ones inside of it like a burrito. So just stack them all on top. They don't have to be the best shape. You want them all to lay the same direction though. You don't want them to fold in on each other because it'll give you some weird cuts. If they're folded in half, it's fine as long as they're not folded this way. If they're folded this way, it's okay. So we'll restack them all back in here, right? And then you just kind of roll it and use that big leaf on top to kind of hold it all down, right? Okay. So your basil is nice and rolled and tucked. And then since it's all nice and rolled like that, when you keep the tip of your blade down, and you just do nice slices. Perfect sliced basil, just like that, right? So what we can do with this basil is we can sprinkle it on top of the soup as a garnish. Alright, how's that? Is that a little bit better for you guys? Sorry about that. Alright, so that's how you do basil. Okay, I'll get a little plate to put that on. We're going to use that as a garnish. So speaking of the basil, hey, we got a follower. Joe's Life, what up, man? Thanks for hitting that follow button. I really appreciate it. Helps a lot. Alright, so we got the basil there. Next thing we're going to do is I got a little bit of sour cream. And what we're going to do with the sour cream is get a little bit wetter and thinner. And then we can use that as well as a drizzle for the top of the soup. Alright, so we're going to leave that there. Whole world's crashing. Switch the camera over so you can see everything fall apart. Okay. I can't find you a basil doobie. Yeah, we went left. I think it's all rest in peace. I will watch the banner I missed. Right on, Jones. If you're more salt or right. Jones, if your thing crashes, we'll be on YouTube too. Find us on YouTube, everyone. All the videos will be posted there. I'm working with a buddy to try and get some video editing done. I am not a video editing major by any means, so I want to edit them and make the videos better for our YouTube channel. So that is a work in progress, but the raw videos will be on there. Okay. Alright, our tomatoes look nice and roasted. We'll get back to the sour cream. Sorry, I have food ADD. Kind of like go all over the place. Wetter and thinner sour cream. Tell me more. Nice. Yeah, something like that. Oh man. Yeah, that's the type of that sour cream we're making, really. So we'll get back to that in a moment. I got ahead of myself, but we will come back and make that. I'm going to put that on the table so I don't forget. And I'm sure you guys will scream at me if I forget too, so we won't forget. So I'll just leave the sour cream on the table. Spin the tomatoes. So while we're going to spin the tomatoes, we can add a little bit of heavy cream. I got the right can. Okay, yeah. So I have on the recipe for a quart of heavy cream. So I have these two little 1-pinters. I'm just going to pour one in right now just so that there's some liquid and we can start getting it warm. Because we're going to spin our tomatoes up here and get that poured in. And it'll just help keep everything so hot. Look at that, it's kind of mixy right now. No recipe, Salty Tears. Jones, right on, man. Well, thanks for sticking around as long as you did. If your battery dies out, we'll be back on Wednesday. Maybe we'll make that dish you were talking about, or we'll make something. I still don't know yet. We'll come up with something good. It's because Wednesdays are short videos. I want to try and keep Wednesdays videos to like a half hour, 45 minutes, just something short I can like post on YouTube. Like, hey, check this quick little video out, you know? All right. Switch back to our. So our onions are caramelizing. Our soup's getting warm on the other side. So we'll switch back to here. Alright. And we're going to get our tomatoes out. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to pull that to the side just for room's purposes. Maybe. What camera do I have this set to? Let's see. Oh, alright, that'll work for a moment. Let's leave that screen on. Does that work? So. Because we're gonna move around a little bit, and that camera will be better for this, I think. So, inside there, let me find some oven mitts here. Where did I just put those other ones? I'm lost in my own kitchen. Alright. Look at these babies. Nice and roasted. Got a nice wrinkle going on there. We could probably let these go for probably even another half hour if you really wanted to. You know, kind of check them. You can see on these, getting a nice little brown right in there, starting to char up nice. Another half hour would probably be really ideal if you were looking to. It's like an hour, hour and a half total bake time. I think on the bake time here we're at about 40 minutes or so. And they just look great. So I mean, really from now till as long as you really want to personally do it. For stream purposes, in time we'll just get it up as is. Sorry about that. Check the onions. Looking good. All these onions and bacon, vegetables, just smells amazing over here. Rest in peace, iPad 745 to 251. See, the iPad used to be. They are over. Nice. Alright, so now I'm going to put our tomatoes. I like to use the spatula, the big spatula for this. Helps get it all off real nice. Or you can kind of pour it. See, this one, it's contain the juices a lot more, and as we had said, the more juices you have, the more liquid, less browning. So this pan probably could have been spread out into a bigger pan. Probably could have been cooked for another half hour more to achieve exactly where we want it, but we are good enough as is. It's going to taste just fine. So we're just going to spin this up for a little bit. Let's go, let's see. I wonder why I'm having a problem airing the broadcast or whatever. Boo, Steelers. Hey, but they won. They won, and they're going on. So, for that nice long spin time, you can see... Whoop. I'm going to pull up my other thing here. Sorry about that. No, it's shutting down. Bye, Jones. Alright, so you see a nice little spin there. Got nice and smooth. We're going to pour this into our pot. Actually, I know what. angle I can switch our cameras to. What if we switch it to that one? That kind of work. Alright, and we're going to throw the rest of our tomatoes in here. Hey, if you're on still, could you check if it comes up if my channel's in the creative? Because it's not letting me update it, so I'm wondering if it even puts you in a creative or not, or if anybody can find us. Alright, get the rest of these tomatoes. Yeah, some of that bottom got a nice crisp to it, so yeah, it's working really, really well. Alright. Get this spinning. So we're just getting a little spin. Sorry, a lot of spin. I'm just kind of going over some of the stuff on here. Trying to figure out why it's... Oh, I think that's why. Maybe I didn't choose a broadcast language? Those stream problems. Alright. There we go, that would be why. How about that? There we go. Now it's changes saved. Okay, so you're not in creative. Okay, now I should be in creative. Yeah, the problem was, I guess, because I switched over the channel thing, so one of the things I didn't do was switch broadcast language to English. So there we go. Now we're set up to tomato soup. Alright. Sorry for the delay, guys. And still, this is just our second week, so we're still working out all the kinks here. Alright, so back to what we were doing. We got this tomato nice and spun. Got our stuff over here. Pour that in. Looking good, smelling good, just fantastic. Onions are caramelizing really nicely. Once these onions are where we want them, I'm just going to leave them in the pan, get it super hot, and throw our bacon in there as well, and just mix the two. Let me switch to stove. Alright. So now you see with the tomatoes in there, spun real nice. Got our nice red color that we're all used to seeing. I'm going to throw my other set of heavy cream in. One thing with heavy cream too, heavy cream's expensive. You can use regular milk, but the problem is with regular milk it tends to break. The oils will come apart and you'll notice it'll look gritty inside. It doesn't taste or feel gritty, it just kind of looks it. That's the thinniness of the milk. Also, because heavy cream is expensive, after I dump it in, I put them underneath, put a little bit of water inside, and shake it, because heavy cream's thick, so it's all inside there, and you don't want to waste a drop. Throw another little bit of water. A little water in your soup is not that bad either. That and that. Alright. So we'll just let that get warm now. It's just looking wonderful. Our onions are pretty much right about there. They could probably go a little longer for caramelizing as well, but for stream purposes and just getting our food here, that looks great. Oh yeah, so let's see. Let's grab our bacon pan here. So actually I'm going to add the onions to the bacon is what I'm going to do, because I just realized I'm going to use this pan with the onions in it for doing our actual grilled cheese sandwiches in, because it's one of the best pans I got for doing grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, and we're done with the oven, so let me turn that off. I'm going to switch these two pans, put our onions into here. Something else you can also do when you have your bacon and onions in here, you get that bacon bits to kind of stick to the bottom, you get that little layer of greasy stuck bacon. To help peel that, you can crack some beer and dump just the slightest bit of beer in there. It'll help flavor it real nice, and it'll help pull that off. So let's see what kind of beer I do have in here. Like I said, I'm not much of a drinker anymore, so Pabst Blue Ribbon, the breakfast of champions. PBR, can't go wrong. PBR and a shot of 10 high, that's a poor man's drink right there. God, there's so much of that drinking down in Yellowstone. Alright, so we're going to get our heat up a little bit more on here with our bacon and onions. I'll get our beer there and we'll crack a little bit of that into it. Got our soup here, we're going to turn that up a little bit. Now remember, we're using heavy cream in the tomato soup, so we don't want it to boil. We want it to simmer. The difference being when you get to that hot boil, that heavy bubbling, it'll break. It has a tendency to break it, and what that means is the oils will separate from the proteins, and they'll float on top, and it will usually taste okay. It just looks funky, and if you're going for serving, people will be like, oh, what are you doing? Alright, so we're all done with that. Sorry, just collecting myself here, figuring out what all we're getting up. So now we're officially done with the blender. Now that the tomatoes are all done. I thought we were done last time. Oh, excuse me, I always forget about that. Move it out of the way. Now, next step is getting our sandwiches ready. So I'm going to turn our back burner on here and move our bacon and onions to that. I'll move our other pan up here. One of the best things about cast iron is, as long as you're not staying burny and you're just keeping things nice and oiled down, you're just kind of cooking your onions for cleaning purposes to get ready for your sandwiches. You just take some paper towel. Wow, who wrapped this thing? Next hit YouTube video. Watch man open paper towel like an idiot. Alright. Okay, so just get a nice, you can just wipe out your pan. Keep it nice and seasoned and oiled. Keep the heat low. So, I'm actually going to turn the heat. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. Okay, so we'll move these back to here. So, oh shit. I just disconnected it. Where is the thing? Yeah, we need a better stove one of these days. Alright, so we'll move this back onto here. We're going to keep our main one back there. We're going to turn that back off, turn that back on. Move this. All kind of disorganized. So now we're going to get our breads ready and our cheeses ready. And back to our sour cream that we were talking about earlier. With tomato soup, sour cream kind of just goes with it. As long as you use it sparingly and use it the right way. So, sour cream. And we're going to get our breads and we're going to get those, we're going to get those seasoned up. That's the other thing. So the two breads that I got, I got a basic wheat bread. That's my preferred and favorite. Camera switch. Basic wheat bread is my favorite. I just like wheat bread. But I was doing research and looking and asked people around what their favorite bread was, and it turns out people love sourdough. Also, sourdough holds up a lot better as far as like frying it in the pan and getting your cheeses and stuff. So it doesn't like mush up on you as much as others will. So that's kind of a bonus to it. We'll maybe see the difference with our wheat bread there. That's kind of why I got two different types of breads too. I kind of wanted to test that theory and show you guys and see how that works with a couple of different breads, one being a little softer, one being a little on the stiffer end. So, also with these, we're not going to use butter, we're going to use mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is essentially vegetable oil. You notice if you get some mayonnaise, it's called, it'll say like canola. It'll have like canola oil in it. Authentic, real homemade mayonnaise is nothing more than vegetable oil and olive oil and like raw eggs, little salt, little lime juice, lemon juice. So when you're looking for grease or something like that, you can use mayonnaise for the frying part of it, the pan part of it, instead of butter. It has a little extra flavor, just a little different. If you're cooking for friends or family and you're making some grilled cheese sandwiches, you can be all fancy and like sometimes people don't always know about that mayonnaise thing. It's a pretty common method, but sometimes people just don't know, so you can look like that fancy guy that shows up at the party like, check it out, man, putting mayonnaise on it, frying it on a pan. People think you're all cool and stuff. You're like, yeah, just doing some mayonnaise. So, spread this on our bread here. Get this cutting board a little better there. And again, we're using mayonnaise instead of Miracle Whip. I'm a fan of mayonnaise over Miracle Whip. I'm not sure the difference in how that fries up in a pan as far as doing it this way. I assume it would work the same. I'm just not a fan of that spice from the Miracle Whip. And if you're making this for other people, if you're ever like hosting a party and stuff, I don't recommend using Miracle Whip, just because if you have guests over that don't like it, then they can't eat your food. When all you had to do is use regular mayonnaise and everybody would just be fine and nobody would know the difference. But no, there's always that one guy that likes the Miracle Whip and ruins the tuna salad. Alright. So mayonnaise down. Next thing we're going to do is we got a little bit of the Parmesan Romano cheese. It's hard to just find straight Romano cheese at the grocery store. When you work in commercial kitchens, you just order big ass bags of Romano cheese. Doing it this way is fine too. They're both basically the same, more or less. One's a little more fancier, a little more expensive. That's usually fancy means expensive in food world. Hang on, let me switch this over. So we got our bacon going. Gonna hit it with a little bit of that beer that we talked about, a little bit of that PBR. Darker beers are best when you're doing with bacon and onions. A dark, rich beer is best. I don't recommend Guinness. I just really don't like Guinness. It's gross. Fat Tire, Moose Drool. We got a local brew called Bozone Amber. Bozone Amber is probably my favorite beer to use for making chili, making beer cheddar beer cheddar soup, stuff like that. Alright, and our soup over here is getting warm. Now we can taste it and see what we need. So up to this point, we have not tasted the soup. So this is where you're going to find out if you need a little more salt, pepper, if you need some more vegetable-based flavor, a little more heavy cream. Find out what it is you're missing in these. So let's see how we did up to this point. Oh my god. It's so good, guys. It's so good. There's not a whole lot we really got to do to it, other than our couple of little tricks. I have some vegetable base here. I bought sometimes when making tomato soup. Oh, Yingling, yes, Yingling. Oh my God, I miss Yingling so much. Pittsburgh beer is my favorite. I bought some vegetable base, but because sometimes, depending on what state you're in, what grocery store you went to, what tomatoes you bought, some tomatoes are far more flavorful than other tomatoes. And so, if you're not quite getting the flavor you want, I recommend adding a little bit of vegetable base. And that's, again, I went over that last week when I made chicken noodle soup, and I had the little jar of the base to put in by spoon. I made it with water. Same thing here with the vegetable base, because if you do need a little vegetable base in your tomato soup, instead of trying to add more liquid and thin it out and mess up your ratios, you can just add little spoonfuls until you get the flavor that you're looking for. So, back to our... I lost my Parmesan over here. So, back to our bread. It's called Miracle Whip for a reason. A miracle to man, a gift from the heavens. That's awesome. But it's not. I'm just not a fan of Miracle Whip. I don't know why. I think my mom was a fan of it, and back in the day, so like my first like real introductions to mayonnaise when I was a kid was the Miracle Whip, and so like I didn't like mayonnaise for the longest time because it just tasted funny, and then like I tried like real mayonnaise and was like, oh, that's because mom's stuff was gross. Sorry, Mom, love you. So back to our Parmesan Romano. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of this over the top of our stuff. So sprinkle over top, a little bit there. And that's going to embed into the bread and add some flavor. Also, Parmesan and Romano is a saltier cheese. So when you do that, you don't have to add any type of garlic salt or seasoning salt when you're using a good amount of Romano cheese. It's already got the salt there, so you can hang on to those salt shakers for just a little bit. Next thing, we're going to put the garlic on here, because I like to cook the garlic into it. Instead of using garlic powder, I'm just use a couple of little bits right over the top. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. You can use garlic powder too, there's nothing wrong with that. And I might actually put a little bit on too, just for fun. Just to help ingrain that garlic flavor. Get this off my fingertips. Ooh, that bacon's looking good. Let me cut to our bacon real quick. You guys gotta see this. This is just looking great. Guys, the smell that's coming off of there, out of this world. So we're going to drain some more of these juices off. Some of it's a little bit of the beer, a lot of it's the grease, just kind of a combination. That's okay. We got the flavors of the beer in there, which is perfect. Now we can set that to the side. We are officially pretty much done cooking our onions. Our soup over here. Next thing with the soup that we're going to add, I got to turn this guy down because we are nice and hot. Shredded cheese. You don't have to. It's not done by most people. It's something I've come to enjoy doing personally. Again, another reason why you can stay low on the salt. Cheese has a lot of salt in it, so you can leave some for that. I like to use onion powder on grilled cheese. Yeah, onion powder is another very valid one too. A little onion powder, a little garlic powder. Some people buy their own, buy garlic seasoning to make garlic toast with. And Thomas, you have it there, man. If you take that onion powder and mix just take a little cereal bowl and mix a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of garlic powder and equal parts with garlic powder, onion powder, maybe a little celery salt, your pepper, your flakes, stuff like that. And basically what you just did there is created your own garlic seasoning. And you can take any kind of hoagie buns, dinner rolls, stuff like that, slice it, put a little butter on it, sprinkle that on there, and you have your own garlic seasoning for garlic toast and stuff. There's no reason to buy actual garlic toast seasoning or anything like that, you know. And then you can take some of your empty seasoning containers and refill them and label them with your own seasoning things. You can make your own steak mixes. You can do all kind of different stuff. Another reason I like to put the cheese in my tomato soup like that is it helps make it a little more creamier, a little thicker. I haven't added any flour to this yet, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a nice thick texture going on already. And then when you add that cheese, it just puts that gooiness to it. It just really helps it out. So back to our breads over here. Black pepper, that's what we need. Okay, sprinkle that. So let's get to some cheeses. I'm going to slide this to the side because the next thing we're going to get to is cheeses. And I got a bunch of different cheeses for us today, guys. You're going to love this. They were on sale, and so I just kind of went a little extra. So I got some Gouda, some really good Gouda. Got some provolone, pepper jack, and a mild cheddar. I'm going to tell you why I got mild cheddar. Personally, as far as cheeses go, I like a sharp cheddar. Sharp cheddar is my personal favorite. But when it comes to making a grilled cheese sandwich, it really has to do with like pH levels in different ways that they make the cheese. So a sharper cheddar will have the tendency to break down more than a medium mild cheddar. The oils can separate. It can get kind of clumpier or chunkier, stuff like that. If you're using more of a medium cheddar, you'll get more of the stringier, softer melt of the cheese. Gouda, Gruyere, and Manchego are some of your gooeyest cheeses. They're right there in that perfect range of the type of cheese that gets a good, when you bite into it and gets that nice long stretch. So that Gouda helps a lot with that, and the medium cheddar. I got pepper jack because, I just love pepper jack. Who doesn't love pepper jack, right? And provolone, because provolone also adds a nice little mountain, nice little flavor too. I just like to play with cheeses and melt tons of cheeses on my food. It's delicious. So let's switch back. Well, let's see here. So here we go. Pull this here, and we're going to stack the two breads together. That way it's a little bit neater, and that way we can get some of our cheeses already. Let's do one with some Gouda here. Oh, Gouda is just so good. Ooh, knock the camera. So what I like to do as well is I like to use different cheeses on each bread. Just because it layers it, get the multiple flavors. I don't know if there's really something to that or not. That's just a personal preference of mine. You can make yours however you want. While I'm doing this, let's switch our, there we go, put our grilled cheese recipe. So we'll build our other one. Even though the other pieces of bread is not there, we'll get our cheeses ready for it. Let's do provolone on that one there, on our wheat. Oh, if I can open the package. Alright, so pepper jack. And we're going to put some cheddar on this too. We're going to make a 3 cheese with this one. A pepper jack, cheddar, and Gouda. And as you can see, I only have 2 slices of Gouda on the one side. So what I'm going to do, and this cheddar is nice and thick. So we're just going to kind of rip one of them up, lay that on the bottom like that. Have the other one. Man, that's some thick cheese. That's some good stuff. Alright, so our other one over here, this one we're just going to do 2 cheeses on. We'll add one more extra piece of provolone on the other side just for fun. And on our other one here, we'll do another Gouda and pepper jack. I really don't know. If you guys have a preference of one, we can mix and match however, really. Just see how they all melt. So this one we'll do pepper jack, provolone, and Gouda. We'll do all white cheeses on this one. So I do have all the cheeses stacked on one side, but we're going to separate that a little bit. So, back to our oven here. Ooh. So once you add those cheeses to your tomato soup, make sure that is on a low simmer, because if you have it up high, you will burn that cheese straight to the bottom of the pan, and have fun cleaning that. We always left that to the new dish pit boy. Tomato soup is just coming out really, really good. So good. Let's switch to our stove. Along with having the mayonnaise on our bread, we're also going to throw a little bit of the olive oil on the pan, just because it's good to have a little oil. We're going to get this heating up. You want a nice hot pan, helps a lot. So we're going to get this nice and ripping hot. This other pan here, excuse me, with all of our bacon goodies. I have a paper plate here. I'm just going to dump it all onto that, because basically we're going to set this up as a serving. If you have friends or company over or anything, maybe not everyone wants the bacon and the onions. Who doesn't want bacon and onions? What am I talking about? Everybody wants that. But just in case, I always like to do a la carte style at my house when I have football games or anything else. I just like people to build it their own way. People have different preferences. I really got to get a rubber spatula so I can scrape this out better. Okay. So there's that. There's our bacon. Bacony goodness. You put cheese in the soup? Yeah, I put cheese in the soup. If you missed it, yeah, we put shredded cheddar jack. This stuff right here, let's switch over to, yeah. Put some nice shredded stuff in there, helps it out. Yum, paper plate. Heck yeah, we're classy as hell. So, pan's heating up. I'm going to bring our cutting board over here. Tomato soup is fantastic. Let's switch. Yeah, you don't have to put the cheese in the tomato soup, but since you already have the heavy cream in there, you might as well just throw the cheese in there as well, just to add to that extra goopiness of it. I don't know, like, I haven't really seen many people do that. I don't really see it done often. It's just kind of something that I just come up with. I'm sure there's a recipe somewhere. I'm sure I'm not the only one or the first one to have done it. But it's just a little trick I like to do. Because I've yet to add any heavy cream or any flour. I've yet to add any flour or cornstarch to this soup. And it's got a nice thickness to it already. It's holding together really well. So you can keep it gluten-free that way. Keep it healthier that way without the heaviness of the flour. So, got the camera on there, alright. So, I think we're about hot enough. Let's see. Oh, yeah, she's wanting to sizzle. I'll crank that up. I got my spatula here. Okay, let's do it. So, we're going to put these on here. Give that sizzle. Got the cheese back on. A little round one. Works perfect for the provolone. And that Gouda. Look at that. Just some beautiful cheese. That's going to sit like that. Another thing I like to do too is you can cover it. It'll let the steam kind of go in on itself. Another thing you can do as well is, let me see here. You can take just like a tiny little measuring cup or a little shot glass or something. Just keep a little bit of, just put a little bit of water in it. And you can just add little touches inside. You don't want to dump a whole lot of water in. but you just add that little droplet. And what that'll do is steam up to help melt that cheese better. Because sometimes you'll get the toast burning on the bottom, cooking on the bottom, and your cheese isn't melting. Just that little bit that's right on the bread. So if you put a lid on top, sprinkle a little bit of water, it'll kind of help with that steam up, All right. And that's what we're talking about. Let's see how our bread looks. Bread's looking good. We're going to need to turn it down just a little bit. Probably a little too hot. Give that back cover nice. So how about you guys, the viewers out there? I see there's a few of you watching. What are you guys having for dinner this evening? Anything good? Anything tasty? And if you haven't already, I see most of you have, so I appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Give me a follow. I really appreciate that. You can also find our videos on YouTube and find us on Facebook. All that fun stuff. So it should just be just about ready here. Ooh, getting a little toasty on that one. Alright. I really need a better setup for that. What I also have here, I'm going to turn this on. Because by the time I'm done with some of the ones over here, I might be able to do one or two on this thing. I have an electric flat top. And it works pretty nice for doing grilled cheese sandwiches, stuff like that. Alright, now we're going to close that. I don't know how the camera can see. It might look blacker from the camera, but I'll show you a better close up. It's not as black as the camera actually makes it look. I know, that's what they all say. Yeah. Burned it, ruined. Nah, that's alright. I'm going to grab some more paper towel, wipe that pan out after this one. I think the problem was we had it a little too hot. Brown hamburger, used cream of mushroom, and noodles for dinner. That sounds delicious. Thomas, you had some pulled pork. Pulled pork. Did you pull it yourself, or did you order it pre-done? And Joe's Life, brown some hamburger, used cream of mushroom and noodles. That sounds fantastic. That's like a beef stroganoff or something, basically almost. Huh? That sounds delicious. It's a good dinner, guys. All right. Oh, and I shouldn't have closed it because I'm going to need the other for the other toppings, but that's okay. So, we got one done here. Pull this off. Alright, so I'll get you a better picture of that on our other cam here to show it's not totally as black as it looks. Turn that down. Wipe our pan out. Best part about cast iron, everything just wipes right on out of it. Turn it down just a little bit. I think we got the pan pretty hot on that last go. So, now we're going to do the wheat bread. Throw that guy on there. Our cheese over. I can smell that Romano as soon as it hits. It just smells so good. Alright, so that's on there. I like them black. Pulled it myself. Pulled your own pork, right on, Thomas. Did you bake the pork in the oven, or did you get ballsy and smoke it? Probably cooked it off in the oven, nice and low and slow, huh? Nice low and slow, and then let it cool down. All right, so we get a little closer to the camera. You can kind of see the lighting. I know it still looks burnt as hell, but it's not as burnt as it looks in the camera. This side might be a little darker than normal because we did have it a little hot, but it's not that burnt, a little char. It's a good char. So keep her open. We're going to put a little spoonful of our bacon inside there for a little mix. Always stir in your soup. Don't ever forget to stop stirring your soup. Put some of our bacon and onions on top. Oh, look at that. And we're going to close that one off. Another thing you can do, you can add spinach and, oh, excuse me. Oh, get all that pepper and grease and everything going on. Just hits right in the nose. Crock pot. Yeah, crock pot's a really good way to cook it. Just set it in the crock pot, peace out to work, come home from work and you got an amazing meal waiting for you. I always love the crock pot for stuff like that. A little more water, a little cheese. I went to buy a smoker or might be cold to make one. Yeah, might be a little cold to make. I don't know where you're at, but I know here it's damn cold to make one. But yeah, buying a smoker late. I have a really nice smoker outside. Later this summer, we're going to be doing all kind of smoking, doing jerkies and stuff like that. But it's really cold out as well here. When it gets nicer and we do that, we'll talk about some smokers. If you're in the market for one, if you have extra money, I highly recommend a brand called Traeger. They are fantastic smokers. They use a wood pellet system that is just freaking awesome. You can get, they use an auger and you get different flavors. You can put it for like 24-hour smoke. It does it all on its own. It's freaking awesome how it works. Yeah, my cheese is not melting right on me here for some reason. I don't know what's going on. We got it pretty thick. So, sometimes it just takes a little trial and error. That's part of the fun of doing this live, is just playing around in the kitchen, showing where problems are in kitchens and solving them and fixing them and all that stuff. Karam 14, what is up? Not much. We were making some amazing soup. We're just about finished with our sandwiches here. They're coming out looking amazing. We got a great soup going on. We got the recipes posted up there. If you're looking for more recipes, you can find us on Facebook. I got the link on our page. Scroll down for. Let's switch. There we go. Whoop. Huh. That ain't good. There we go. Still learning. Alright, so cheese is looking good now. Nice and done. So we'll bring our plate of some bacon and onions over. Put this on top. So I'll switch back to our other cam here. Hey, Big Miss Sunshine is now following. How's it going? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So here we have the wheat bread, and see, it's not burnt, it's toasty. Karam 14 hit a follow. Right on. Thanks a lot. So as you see, the wheat toast has a little bit of a softer side to it as the cheese and stuff gets into it. Kind of bends a little more. Our sourdough toast over here, I mean, look, you can hold that massive guy and it doesn't bend on you, fold on it. I mean, it's a nice solid piece, whereas this one here, kind of, see, it's kind of falling down. It can't really hold the weight. The sourdough definitely has a much better hold to it. So what we're also going to do is cut these on a diagonal. It's always nice to cut your sandwiches for your people. got this other one here. So let's switch back over to our stove cam here and do our nice big one that we had ready. So while your pan is hot, you want to kind of deglaze it and clean it. Put it with a little bit of water. Just kind of sizzle and crackle. That's not too much grease. You can kind of pour that drainage sort of. Alright, get a nice little wipe. Turn that down just a little bit. And let's get it one. I guess what. Ooh, upside down. I guess what we're learning here too is, as you notice, the cheddar is a lot thicker. So you probably want to put the cheddar down first on the bread, so that has a better chance of melting from the bread side as opposed to the top side, being that it's a little bit thicker. Oh god, that pine that John just smells so good coming off of it. Tomato soup. The tomato soup is basically done. I mean, it is done. It's just sitting here warming, staying warm. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our fancy little topping for our soup, back to the sour cream that we were trying to get to earlier. So with our sour cream, we're going to throw some in our bowl, mix it up. I'm going to put just a dash of water in to thin out the sour cream, instead of having it as thick as it is. We're also going to put just the ever so slightest bit amount of water, or basil. So we cut some of this basil up for our garnish on top. I'm going to put a little bit of this basil. Oh, damn. Camera, I'm sorry. Oh, I screwed up. There we go. So all I did was put sour cream in a bowl. So you didn't miss anything. It's okay. So then we'll take a little bit of our basil that we chopped up. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that into our bowl there. Alright. Okay, nice and mixed. Check our sandwiches. Okay. Now we got the ticket. I think what we did wrong is, I've always, in commercial kitchens on flat tops, you have really hot flat tops and you get things whipping up really, really quick, and you do your grilled cheese sandwiches. Inside a home kitchen like here, I'm not really used to that with the temperatures and stuff, so I was like, let's go hot, and we're getting some char on the bottom. So I think what our trick is to keep it on a nice low and just kind of let it sit there and slow simmer and cook. Too many times we want to cook fast. We want things to cook now and be done, but that's not always the way. Sometimes most times, you gotta be slow, low and slow. So we put a little bit of water in there to help thin it. You can see in there a nice little whip. It's getting a little more runnier. See if I kind of pour it. See how it kind of pour now. Next, what you can do with this is, if you don't have a squeezer thing, what I do have is, back in 1 sec, sorry about this, is so basically you can get a Ziploc bag, cut the top off or so, and pour it into your Ziploc bag. Oh, you know what I have? Haha. I have a bigger, better bag right here. Yeah, so you want a Ziploc bag that preferably can close on the top. And then you're going to pour your sour cream inside your Ziploc bag. Now, the cops catch you with a Ziploc bag full of sour cream, have fun explaining. Alright, I'm just going to pour that down. And we're going to come back to that. We got plans for you. So now that that's sealed, what this does is it basically makes a squirt bottle. If you don't have a squirt bottle, you basically can make one out of a Ziploc bag. You just pour the contents in there, seal up your bag, and then we're going to clip a hole in the bottom corner and we'll have a perfect drizzle out. So if you saw the tomato soup recipe, how it had the that one picture, how it had the fancy deal going. Alright, let's switch camera back to our stove. Our grilled cheese this time is looking fantastic. I think we nailed it. Yeah, alright, now our cheese is melting good. Our bread's looking a lot lighter on the bottom. Low and slow is the key here, guys. Sorry I had that way too hot earlier. Burnt the hell out of it. Well, I mean, I didn't burn it, but... And actually, just for fun, let's try a little bit of this. I am starving. The onion, the bacon, the cheese, everything sets together so perfectly well. Back to business. Sandwich is going to put some more of this bacon and onion on top. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit on it. Not too much now. And we're going to come back over to our main station, our prep station here. We're going to build up a couple more of these. Because I got a couple of people to feed tonight. So, more than a couple, so we'll make a couple more here. Alright. So, I'm going to do a couple more sourdough ones, because I didn't realize I was a fan of sourdough. I'd never really been the biggest fan of sourdough bread, but for this grilled cheese, I learned something today, that I enjoy sourdough for my grilled cheese sandwiches. See, this is why we're doing this. We learn new things, taste new things, try new things. Rogue Fox 114 looks surprisingly good. What do you think? I think it looks surprisingly good too. Heck yeah. What It looks fantastic. We're gonna put some more mayonnaise. Oh, back over to here. Got our bread back on. Another cutting board here. So again, we got our sourdough and we got our wheat bread. Some more mayo on there. Hey, gotta follow Road Fox. Right on. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. After the show, I upload all of our videos to YouTube as well at the Doods Foods. Is our YouTube channel. So if you're into YouTube and stuff, even if you're not watching the video, if you can subscribe to our channel, like some of our videos, kind of helps us out a little bit. Wednesday's our shorter video. I think we might do a dessert this week. Who knows? Mayo. Really? Yeah. So I talked about that earlier. So I'm more than happy to talk about it again. Yeah, the reason we use mayo is basically vegetable oil and egg, or just vegetable oil in a sense. So yeah, it adds a little more flavor. It's a little fancier, a little more of a trick. You know, if you're trying to impress some friends at a party, or if you're trying to bring some food, or cook in front of some buddies and make some grilled cheese sandwiches, bust out the mayo. It's a fun little trick. It works just as well as butter. Just fancier and a little more flavorful. Something, just fun tricks. I lost my Parmesan again because I'm bad at this game. You're probably looking at it on the camera saying, it's right there, dummy. Yeah, it's right there. There we go. So yeah, mayo. And so we spread the mayo on. And then we sprinkle a little Parmesan and Romano right on top of there. And then we're going to go to our black pepper. And I had a thing of garlic powder out here. And a little bit of garlic powder. So with that mayo, we'll show you how that works. Let's switch over to our stove. Man, this one came out perfect, guys. I can't even begin to describe. You can see it though. I'll bring it over to our other camera. It seems like this one gets a better look at our food for you. So, just nice and golden. Just a wonderful meal right there. So I'm going to keep that over here on our warming area. Actually, that's what I could do, because our oven is still nice and warm. I can grab one of my other sheet trays here, and I can set my plates with these sandwiches inside of the oven. So because the oven was so hot, you leave that in there. And while they sit in there, that'll also help keep the cheese melting. Okay. Our cast iron is getting warm. Don't forget your handles. Pour some of that grease out a little bit. Another towel, wipe that out. And then we'll get our next set of sandwiches going. Do you want some sandwiches? Okay, now we're fresh start and ready. We're going to grab this one we're just going to overload with some cheddar and some pepper jack. All on our wheat one. Yeah, on our wheat one we'll just overload a crazy cheddar one. So, back to our stove cam. One day, when I'm rich and famous and doing cooking shows, maybe we'll be able to afford somebody to sit behind the computer and switch cameras on the fly for me. Oh, it smells so good when that mayo and Parmesan and garlic and everything hits the pan. Oh my god, it smells so good. So pepper jack, cheddar. And then for the fun, we're going to throw some of this shredded stuff on top. Because why not? So I see some new people have joined us. Earlier I had asked what everybody had for dinner today. So if you had just joined us and wish to join our conversation, yeah, what did you have for dinner today? What's your favorite kind of dinner? What do you enjoy eating? We're here to talk about food and cook food and enjoy food, so if you have anything you want to talk about food, please feel free to ask or describe. We are all food people, food dudes and dudettes. Alright, put our lid back on here. So I have this flat top heating up over here, but really, I don't need it, because we finally got this dialed in. Nan and turkey sandwich is what I'm eating. I don't know what nan is and turkey sandwich. Oh, ham. Maybe that's ham? I don't know. Nan and turkey sandwich is what I'm eating. Sounds good. Homemade burgers. War Frog, too. How's it going, man? Homemade burgers. Heck yeah. How do you make your burgers? When we get to barbecuing outside, I'm going to do some stuff with some burgers. I do these homemade burgers. What I do is I'll take Doritos or cheddar and onion sour cream chips or something like that, and when you get your ground beef and you put your egg and your seasoning, crush in your favorite potato chips into your burger meat, and it'll act as a seasoning, and it'll give it a little bit of texture with some crunch. Just like a little trick I kind of learned back in the day, just me and some buddies being drunk late at night and broke with no seasonings. Screw it, throw a bunch of chips in there. All right, sour cream and onion. Yeah, cool. And you get all that shake at the bottom of the bag, all the crunched up stuff, and you just dump all that good chips right into your burger. It's freaking amazing. So did you barbecue those burgers? You cook them on a grill, or did you pan fry them, or bake them off in your oven? We had little mini sliders for the football game on Saturday. My girlfriend's a hell of a cook, so she took some little mini slider, a little bit of ham, some cheddar. I found Indian flatbread naan in the fridge and ham from Costco. Heck yeah. Did it with cornflakes? Excellent. Yeah, cornflakes be the same way. I would assume not frosted cornflakes, right? Because if you did frosted cornflakes, I wonder, it'd be interesting how that would work. Although, it still doesn't sound bad. Let's see that. I will learn how to do that. There we go. Yeah, another thing you can do with frosted cornflakes, though, if you ever have like a version of fried ice cream, you can actually deep fry the ice cream. But as opposed to just actually deep frying it, if you take your ice cream, take your ball of vanilla or whatever, and take frosted flakes and crush them up into a dust, and then sprinkle that all over top of your ice cream, and then pour like a caramel drizzle or something. Oh, it's so good. Pan fry? Yeah, it's probably too cold for you to barbecue too. I don't know where you guys live, but I imagine based on the weather out here, it's like in the single digits or something. I don't know if you watched that Seattle Minnesota game. It's kind of the same weather we got out here. Oh man, it's looking good. I have to turn the heat up just a little bit. Splash a tad bit of water. Help that cheese melt just a little bit. Get that sizzle. Yeah, pan fry is a good way. Another thing, what I use too is I have here's where it's at. I got a lot of cast iron skillets. I collect cast iron. Cooking in your home kitchen cast iron I always found to be some of the best. And I got this one. It's a big square one with like the grates in between it, so it helps like the fat of the meat come off as well. And you can get like grill marks on your pan in your kitchen. It's a pretty sweet and tasty. But yeah, this sandwich is just about done. So let's make a plate. We got our sour cream garnish here. We got our other garnish. So when we get this other one on, we're gonna set up a real plate here. Alright, throw some bacon on this. Ooh, I threw a lot on. Right on, that's okay. Oh, look at that, nice and brown. Perfect. I'm going to throw this with our other sandwiches inside of our oven here. The oven is off. You don't turn it on. Since we baked our tomatoes in there at 450. So when you turn the oven off, it's obviously going to stay nice and hot for an extended period of time. So you can just leave them sitting there and they'll stay warm as you cook them off. That also works like if you have kids or a bunch of people at your house and you're doing breakfast and you're like cooking off pancakes or something like that, and you can only cook like 2 pancakes at a time, and you got like 3 or 4 screaming kids at you that are hungry, and why does he get the pancakes first and I don't? No, you love him more than me, all that fun stuff. just don't tell them they're done yet and throw them inside the oven like that. Set your oven to like 150, and just as you cook your pancakes off or as you cook your grilled cheese sandwiches off, just keep stuffing them in the oven. And if kids ask what's up, just tell them you ate it. They can get the next one. And then once you have everything you're ready, once you have all your pancakes or grilled cheeses ready, and you just pull out a whole platter and feed all your kids or all your guests at once, and you don't have to listen to a bunch of screaming which one, who got what first, and all that. So I'm going to put some cheeses here. Favorite veggie. What's my favorite veggie? That's a tough one to say, an actual favorite. But in all honesty, I really like broccoli. Pretty big fan of it. As far as cooking goes, like your basic 3 ingredients, as we started with this, is celery, carrots, and onions. But like my favorite, I guess I would have to say broccoli. I really like it steamed. I really like it grilled. I like cheese poured on it. I like it fried with bacon. I like it put in cream of cheddar and broccoli soups. Yeah, I never really thought about it, but I guess if I had to pick one, broccoli was kind of the first one that came to my head. There's a lot you can do with it. If you get broccolini, it's a long, skinny, stringy broccoli instead of like a whole hardened head. And you can take that and put a little bit of butter and salt and pepper on that and throw it on your grill and char it off and stuff. And oh god, it's just so good. Like, yeah. So yeah, that'd be my answer. Broccoli. How about yourself? What do you like for veggies? As a child, I never complained about pancakes. That's no fair. That's good. That's a nice childhood to grow up in. I don't think I really had that problem too much, or maybe I was the one that got it first and my brother was the one. I don't really remember. But it was just me and my brother growing up, so there wasn't like a whole lot of kids. But I have friends and family that have kids, and I know a lot of people have kids, and I can see some of them sometimes they get a little whiny at certain ages. 4, 5. Same with like when you have a bunch of kids, you don't ever want to like chop up parsley and put parsley on a pasta dish, because if you put parsley on a pasta dish, you're always gonna have some kid, what's that green stuff? I don't like that. And I worked in a lot of fine Italian kitchens, and it was a straight rule all the time is you don't put parsley on those kids' dishes. And there's always that new guy that puts it on there, and as soon as it goes out, it comes right back because that kid didn't like all that green stuff on it. And honestly, I believe I was that kid as well. I didn't like all that green stuff touching my food either. It was icky, but then you grow up and realize it's good, and then you realize you're poor and you take whatever comes on your food. Whatever I get extra, just throw it all on there. Just keep piling it. Complaint equals slap to the face. Yeah. I've seen that. That's yeah. You're lucky to be eating anything, boy. Whack. All right. I don't know what camera we're. I mean, we're kind of back and forth, so I gotta come up with a better little prompt here to get these cameras a little better view. Yeah, let's just leave all 3 up. So we're gonna make up our dish now. We're gonna fill up our bowl of tomato soup here. Just looks and smells heavenly. Can't even begin to imagine. Well, you should, because you should be out there making it for yourself. And there's that. Grab our beautiful sandwich right here that we just made. So there we go. Got a beautiful grilled cheese sandwich, a beautiful bowl of tomato soup. Now for that extra little fine fancy, let's see. how well we can do this. Oh, I got a pair of scissors somewhere. A better pair back here. Let me grab a nice pair of scissors to cut this really good with. So, you'll take your bag, and you're going to take the very tip of it here. You want to get your contents towards the other end so it doesn't spill out as soon as you cut it. Excuse me, we're going to cut the tiniest little tip off. Alright? Then, I'm going to take it over top, and get it up to the top there. Alright, so, tilt it over. And in one nice motion, just keep a steady squeeze. Sometimes you'll get sticky chunks. Just get a perfect little way around. So it looks kind of, I don't have the best line work, but what we do after that is, so you get that to there, and take a toothpick. Look delish. Rough translation: if you don't eat it, I will slap you. Are you from China or Japan? I'm sorry, I don't know characteristics from one to the next. I don't want to sound ignorant, but yeah, some sort of Asian descent, I imagine. So you get the sour cream drizzled around like that, and then something you can do is take your toothpick and go right into the thing. Let's see if we can make this right. I don't even know what I'm going to try and do with it. We're going to kind of pull it out. You can usually kind of pull your color out. Get it to kind of twirl. And I'm just making a mess now. I really messed that all up. But you get the idea. You can do different decorations. And that didn't pull out as well as I wanted it to. Oh well. You get the idea. And then to cover up your mess, when you say, oh man, I really blew it, just sprinkle some basil over top. And it's green on top of the red. And you have the white still kind of separated. I was going to try and get a cool little pool with it, but oh well. So you do that, and even still doing the little twirl around, you can make a pretty nice looking dish. Good night, War Frog. You out of here. Have a good night. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Find us on YouTube. Child of Asian Immigrant. Right on. Yeah, so I could see how probably in a family like that, your parents probably grew up a conservative with their food. I know my grandmother is similar to that. She was born in the 20s or something like that, 30s. So even to this day, if you take her to a buffet like Golden Corral or something, I love my grandma, she's the greatest. But like when you take her to like Golden Corral or any form of buffet like that, she's just so used to, even from a child, of how valuable food was, that she'll still like take bacon and put it into paper towel and like stick it in her pocket, and like she'll like fill her purse up with different food because like she wants to save it for later. And that all comes just from like growing up in a family that came from the Depression era. So we got it all set out. It looks good. Yeah, it looks yummy. Right on. So we're gonna dip our sandwich in there. I'm a big fan of dipping my sandwich inside of my soup. We're gonna taste this out. Guys, I tell you, the Parmesan on the outside, as soon as it goes into your mouth, you can taste that Parmesan hit your tongue. You bite into it. The cheese, there's just so much good cheese, soft. The bacon and the onions, just that, oh god, bacon's just the greatest, that flavor that hits in. Just an absolutely fantastic grilled cheese and bowl of tomato soup. And with that sour cream and the tomato, it's just absolutely fantastic. Doesn't get much better than that. Normally, whoa, I forgot all about our other sandwich over here. Oh, it's still looking perfect. That's why you keep it on low. And yeah, so I guess that's about all I have for you guys. We used mayonnaise on our grilled cheese sandwiches instead of butter for more flavor and tricky effects. We caramelized our onions. We fried our bacon. We cooked some amazing sandwiches with some amazing different types of cheeses. Oh God, look at that. Let me switch over this for you. Yeah. I hope you guys had fun. I know I sure did. I really love cooking. I've been doing this for about 15 years now. I've worked for insane butchers, crazy awesome chefs, crazy awesome sous chefs, lots of kitchens, lots of off-time fun. And yeah, this has just been a blast, guys. I got a nice big pot of tomato soup. Some people wonder what I'm doing with all this food. I got a big pot of soup. I got all these sandwiches. It's like 9 o'clock at night Mountain Time. It's, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Like, man, what are you doing at that time? Well, I call up my next door neighbors because we're all a big, close group of friends. And I say, hey, guys, I'm done with my cooking show. Y'all should come on over and shout out on this food. And they come over and we listen to some music and all sit around and have dinner for the evening. It's really nice and friendly. If any of you live in the area, you can sure join. Banana Fosters, though, on a stream, please. Banana, you know what? And I've been kind of thinking about that all evening. And as you heard me mention, I might do a dessert on Wednesday or so. I might just look that up and see if I can make it. The only thing that would hold me back is the 99 bananas. And even if I got Malibu, because it's on the expensive side. And I mean, I know when you look at this 12 by 8 kitchen and see all this fancy equipment, you're thinking, man, this guy is loaded. But sorry, that's not the case. So yeah, I will see what I can do about that, and we'll come up with something. And if not, if I don't make Banana Foster this Wednesday, I will make sure I make that at some point for you, because that does sound fantastic. And I got a pen right here, and I'm actually going to write that down because I don't want to forget that. Banana Foster. Yeah, I'll look up some different recipes for that and some different ways to make that. And I'll get a hold of that 99 bananas and whatnot, and we'll play around. Like I said, though, it's a little expensive, so I don't know if I'll be able to get that together this week. That might be something for next week. Or if you're really interested, I have a donations button. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I will get that together. If I don't do that this Wednesday, we'll do something Wednesday. I'm not 100%. Like I said, I want to keep my Wednesday stream to something short and simple, so I can make like quick YouTube videos to post on. So we'll kind of play with that. If you have any other ideas for anything that you want to see streamed, I am always open to suggestions and ideas. And with that being said, I'm probably going to run out of ideas at some point. So if there's anything you want to see, anything you want to learn about, anything you want to talk about, please let me know. Find me on Facebook. We're the Doods Foods on Facebook. Doods spelled the D-O-O-D. I'm on YouTube as well. Drop me a comment on either one. Say, hey, can you make this? Can learn about this? Show me a picture or something. Just, I'll look up recipes. We'll find ways about it. I'll test some things out, and we'll come up with our own way of making it. I'm always up for new ideas. I'm always up for learning new cultures. Rogue Fox, it sounds like you might have a couple of interesting food ideas too. Being a Asian descent there, I'm sure you probably cook all kind of interesting stuff. So yeah, go ahead and drop me a like on Facebook and send me suggestions, and I'll be happy to go through them. Part of what I want to do with this stream and this whole setup is interacting with all of you guys, which I really enjoy doing, and I hope you do too. And so by interacting with you guys, whatever type of foods that you want to see done, we will do and talk about. I I've been doing this for a while. I know a lot of recipes and I can cook a lot of things. There's also tons I don't know. Nobody knows everything. There's always room to learn, and I love to learn. I love to learn new ways, see new ways to do it. So, yeah, we'll keep this ball rolling. We'll be doing this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 Mountain Time, because I live in Montana. And we'll be here on Wednesday as well for short streams. About the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 Mountain. Cooking on Twitch. Why did you choose Twitch? Because I don't know any other channel, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. As far as live feeding and finding things, I just kind of learned about Twitch and was playing around with it and learned how to work Twitch. I guess YouTube has a live stream thing too. I haven't really looked into it or how that works, so I just post these videos to it, and I'm working on getting these videos edited to look nicer and quicker and better on YouTube. I'm sure there's other streaming sites. I don't know of them or know which ones of which to use. So, and Twitch has that creative section, and I've done a lot of looking in that creative section because I like watching streams. And I haven't really seen anybody cooking. I've seen a couple of ladies doing some baking, and that looked nice, and they had some good food they were doing on there, but nobody was really like cooking. They were more doing some baking. There were some other ladies doing some cooking, but they were more about just flirting with each other and just getting likes that way. I'm more interested in actually like the basic foundation of cooking, different ideas of it, communicating with people to try different recipes, as opposed to just making a quirky show to look at. I enjoy cooking, and I hope you guys do too. So I want to play with food and learn new foods with you guys and talk about foods. And I've already learned a few. I learned a term called bangers and mash from Lyric Jones, whose iPad crashed earlier. He from England, so bangers and mash. That's basically sausage and mashed potatoes. I didn't realize that was the term of that, so learned something new then. Learned something new today with the banana Fosters. So yeah, it's fantastic. So we'll keep this up, and we'll keep learning about new foods and look up recipes and ways to do it and have fun with it. I kind of made the term, or came up with the term, we're going to make the world a tastier place one dish at a time. Just kind of something fun to do. Just if people eat good and enjoy what they're eating, I think they're happier throughout the day when you have a good meal to look forward to. I think you're sadder when you realize you have a shitty meal to look forward to coming home. So whenever you have good food to look forward to, it just puts you in a good mood. At least it does for me, and I hope it does for you. And you all are beautiful, and I appreciate you all sticking around tonight. I've been on for about 2 hours and 15 minutes now. Love your ideas behind the plan with this channel. Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that is just. I've seen tons of cooking shows. I've watched, Food Network and stuff, and I don't know. There's none of them you can interact with, and there's a lot of showboat and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and propaganda stuff of like basically trying to push different items on you to sell, stuff like that too. So no, I just wanted to do something fun, interactive, and yeah, so we'll just keep doing this each week. This is my second stream, my second week. I just started last Monday, and yeah, having a blast with it. So thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm going to call the stream there for tonight, and I'm going to sit down and eat this wonderful food because it's smelling good, looking good. I'm hungry. So yeah, thank you all. Have a beautiful night. We'll see you on Wednesday. If not, hopefully we'll see you next Monday. Tell your friends, tell your family. Say, hey, we found this new cooking show. There's this dude. He's got some foods. It's fantastic. I love watching it. You guys should check it out. So yeah, eventually I will have better YouTube videos and maybe do I'm gonna do quick videos. And I do a lot of camping in the summertime, so I'll take my video cameras with me, like open fire camping foods and stuff like that too, and then I'll make YouTube videos of that, and then maybe recap during Twitch. So yeah, guys, until next week, this is Raz with the Dudes, and let's make the world a tastier place, one dish at a time. Have a beautiful evening. We'll see you next time.